Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whip and work. Hallelujah. I had to do it.
Now that I've gotten that out my system, because I'm actually filming this twice, and the first time I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. But I have to admit, my first film was trash, so I'm redoing it. And I was like, you know what? Do it. Get it out your system, and maybe the review will go smoother. So that's what I'm hoping for. I had to cheesy, I know, but I just had to do it. But anyway, so I just wanted to bring you my thoughts on the series that's now airing every Sunday on Starz called BMF. It's the story of the Flenory brothers that you may or may not be familiar with. I first became familiar with some parts of the story because Meech became a fixture on the hip hop scene, and I'm heavy into hip hop, love hip hop, always have. So yeah, so I'm vaguely familiar. I know some of the story thanks to being involved in hip hop, and then thanks to channels here on YouTube like Al Prophet and things of the nature. I can't think of the other channel that I really like that has like the dope the dope intro, but I saw stories. I've watched it over the years. I think Vlad did a couple interviews. So I've watched, but with not knowing that it will be pertinent later, because now I'm just like, oh, I wish, what happened? I wish I had retained more to my memory. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about the series. So this is not going to be a recap or even a review of the series. I just really wanted to let you know my thoughts on the series so far. We're at episode 2. And I'm really loving it. I just really enjoy it. And I have to say, I'm not really a fan of Curtis. Not really a fan of him at all. But it was also, I didn't even know he produced it until my cousin told me. And I have to give credit where credit is due. I think that 50 has found a market, and he is doing the damn thing in that market. It leaves me to wonder if we're going to get more series like this, or how many other stories we're going to see pop up like this, because there's so many stories to tell. So what we first see when the series opens up is like this, like kind of like a disclaimer or opener where we're saying like a lot of it's loosely based on a true story. And I don't know, because I can't see, I wear glasses, I'm blind, so I don't know if it said, my man was like, it said, but it's based on a lot of real shit. I don't know, he said that. I don't know if that's what it actually said. I gotta read it one of these days. But it is loosely based on their story and of them growing up in Detroit and them coming to, fame and fortune selling drugs. So they come up under this drug dealer, Pat, like who's the kingpin, and Pat, who's played by Wood Harris. And they are quickly wanting to expand. They're having beef with the 12th Street boys, and they want to expand. There's beef at home with the family, within the family, because the family is deeply religious and hardworking, and they do not agree with this lifestyle. I just found it interesting that they're blaming Meech for everything. Like Terry So is the golden boy, and he's so innocent in their eyes, and he's going to graduate high school, and he's gonna just be the hope and the dreams of the family, and Meech is like looked at sideways, disdain. They love him as a child, but it's like he's doing illegal dirt, and they want him to stay away from the brother, even though the brother is just as involved from the get-go. Brother the one got a gun. I thought that scene was very interesting. He gets the gun from the white kid at school, and he brings it home. He pulls it on the 12th Street boys. Like, he's just as gangster, and they have no clue, and everything is Demetrius's fault. The main thing I like about this series is I feel like it's bringing a lot of nostalgia. It's playing on like that wave of nostalgia that we're all riding, that we all love right now. I felt like the casting was amazing. I love the casting, starting with Demetrius. I believe that's Demetrius Jr. Little Meech playing his dad. They have another actor playing him in the beginning. Now that scene was puzzling for me when he comes there in front of the house and he's talking, because to my knowledge Demetrius is still in jail. So, and they don't want to let him out. They let Terry out because of COVID, but they don't want to let Big Meech out. So that's really weird. So I don't know. That scene was like, but if you don't know the story, then it's like, all right, it just happened, okay, like whatever. But that was confusing for me. But I do like Little Meech playing his dad, and I feel like he did an excellent job. Because at first I'm like, oh, he looks like him. Come to find out that's the son. I was like, oh my gosh. When I was looking up the cast, I was like, oh great, wonderful cast, and love that. So we have Da Vinci as Terry. Da Vinci is fine. It's just a fine piece of chocolate. Love him in that role. Wood Harris, as I said, as Pat, I believe is the character's name. Then we have Russell Hornsby. I'm sorry if I'm looking down. I know I'm not good with names, so I would butcher it if I didn't write it down. So Russell Hornsby as the dad, Mr. Flenory. I didn't catch his first name, Daddy Flenory. And we have Miko Brianna White as his wife. Now, I remember Russell from like cop dramas or just bit parts along the way, just seeing him pop up. He's had a long career. And Miko, the same thing. Like I didn't recognize her, even though she's in a commercial or a couple commercials. I didn't recognize her by looking at her, but I recognized her voice. And then I was like, oh, that's Overton little sister from Living Single. So I love that for them. I love seeing them, that they have current roles on this series. I just really love that. We got Steve Harris, or Charles Trifling as the coach slash cop he's helping Meech out to a certain extent. I'm still mad at him. So, you know, I think we all still mad at him for kicking his wife out, but he's always gonna be Charles to me. And then we have Coco Brown, comedian. I love Coco Brown. She playing a subdued version of herself in this role. Like seeing her. We saw the beautiful, beautiful Lala. Love seeing Lala in another 50 series because, you know, she's on Power and now she's here. Love it. Didn't they kill her in Power? I think they did, because I didn't watch it, but I kind of watch reviews here and there here on YouTube, so I know a little bit, but yeah, I don't really know enough. And then we saw Cash Doll. I did not appreciate seeing Cash Doll naked. I ain't going to. I felt like I had to close my eyes a little bit because out of respect, because I love me some Cash Doll, but I have to give credit where credit is due. Those boobs was sitting, okay? They were sitting, but I had to, you know, look down a little bit. We have Eric Kofi Abrifa as Lamar. Now, this Lamar character, now that I would love to know if that is true, if there was this guy. Like, I think there was a guy that really happened, that he went away and they took over his territory. Now he's back home. He was in a nut house, and now he's out, and it's like it's implied that he wasn't really crazy. He just was in a nut house as a, you know, defense, you know, for his crimes that he was caught committing, and that was like the defense. But I really get that this person's insane. He seems insane. He's just always manipulating, conniving. He doesn't seem stable, but I love the character. He's one of those characters that he needs to stick around for a while. I don't need him off no time soon, because he just brings for the drama, and it's like it's festering beneath the surface, and they don't really know how much of a menace he is just yet, but I love him. Okay, especially when the second episode, he's smashing that girl, that big girl in the bathroom. That was just out of pocket. He's just out of pocket. Then we have Marquis Moore. Now, I saw Marquis Moore. I was like, he was another one that I was like, who is that? When I saw him on screen, but then I realized, like, oh my gosh, that's the kid. Like, he had smaller parts here and there. He's been in movies and things of that nature along the way. He's been acting for a very long time. But he is, to me, the cute guy in the episode. He gonna play the love interest. If somebody like Tia, Tamara, or Brandy was looking at him or like, ooh, he's cute, and want to make him a boyfriend, and you never see him again after that episode, that's who he is to me in my head. But I did love seeing him. And then he gets off in the second episode. I was so mad. I thought he was gonna be like a major character in the series, and then why? Well, I mean, we gonna see, like, you know, what happens. But I was just like, oh, so upset. And then who else am I missing? There was this one character that we kept looking with the flat top, and we're looking at him, and I'm like, I know who this guy is, but I couldn't put my finger on it, because, you know, it's been a while since we've seen some of these people, and I'm just looking, and I'm like, who is that? And I kid you not, me and my man looked at each other at the same time. It was like Little Zane. Little Zane is in here, and I didn't know Little Zane could act, so I was actually really happy to see Little Zane. Again, it's riding on the nostalgia, giving me all the feels. I love seeing it. I just don't know, like, what else, where are we going from here? It had me on the edge of my seat, especially when Terry got shot in the end of the first episode. Like, you know he survives because they go to jail, but it just was like, oh my gosh, what happened? Like, he got shot in his eye, he may be losing his vision. That was a lot. He's having a baby. I love seeing the girlfriend with her little ash blonde asymmetrical cut. That was good. I love how she's sticking by him. So far, I don't want to see them break up, but you know it's probably inevitable, like, because he's gonna be out there doing his thing just like his brother. But seeing that was just like, I love their relationship so far. I don't like how staunch, or what's the word I'm trying to look for, like, strict the parents are. Like, they're struggling, they obviously need the money, and they don't want to take the money because it's dirty money, and you know, like, I think that's so ridiculous. Even if they don't want to just be living off of Meech or just supporting him in his bullshit, I just feel like you're behind on your mortgage. You rather, your pride would let you be out on the street versus you accepting and getting caught up and, you know, just getting that leg up, even if that's where it's coming from. Because even Meech says, maybe I'm your blessing, or he says something to that effect. But yeah, I don't want to make this too long. Let me know if you are watching BMF, if you would like to see actual reviews going forward. I don't know, it just was moving so fast. I don't know if I would be able to do it justice, but I really love this series so far, and I will be watching. Let me know what you thought, your thoughts on the casting, all things like that. I'd love to leave it down below. I want to thank you so very much for watching, and if I don't catch you, you will catch me in the next one. Later, guys.